Now, do we even have to allow tiny houses? Oh, did I leave my tiny house at home? Oh, no. Check your pocket. Yeah, no. I got my tiny house.
I sent you guys some information.
Yes. And, do we even have to allow tiny homes? I mean, or can we just say, no, our development is gonna go by Arsaldo, and it's gonna be like, if you wanna have a plan, it's gotta go by that, and how, it's gonna be regular sized houses.
It's rather, tiny homes are a rather novel concept. I mean, I don't think you had them around here at all? I don't think you've seen, I haven't seen many of them. I'm sorry for down the road coming in.
Yes. This is, I hate to say it, but it's protectionism. So, so that we don't get okay, hey, we're gonna put all these tiny houses.
I think the question is what's going to be the impact on the community in terms of housing growth.
Yes, yes. I mean,
to me, I think it's possibly have a negative. What you could do is maybe limit them to certain areas. Do that, but I don't know. I just think that I grew up in a small house, have a home in Vesterburg, and I don't know who would want to live in a small home.
These are smaller.
Probably. I
interfere.
was a rich person like some other people there. Had a silver spoon or gold spoon.
yeah, I grew up in a four room kitchen, living room, and 2 bedrooms, and then my parents did add on, because what my parents' bedroom used to be is now a dining room. So we had 4 rooms.
So we had.
That's all we
had.
had.
We had a bathroom.
And a bathroom.
That was
4
it.
rooms and a bathroom.
And we had a basement.
Yeah, and a basement. We had a basement.
So go ahead.
I still live with my mother. On top of Trax Hill, there is a tiny house that went in. First week, the board vacated. They had a zoning hearing board hearing maybe 2 days after the board that vacated it with Mr. Tazak. They are on a common septic. They told Washington County Storage Council they were building an addition, and they are renting it out at the dismay of their neighbors. Right
There was
there
no
in the middle.
stenographer at that hearing.
Happened maybe 2 days after that board vacated, and there is a tiny house. If you go up Trax Hill, you'll see it, and it's sharing a septic like a granny flat. So it's something you may want to consider in your ordinances. Like, cost of living's up there. I have a daughter who lives in an apartment above the greenhouse, but if I had a big old backyard, she might be living in a little tiny house. I don't know. And one of the people that are asking about tiny houses are on private lateral. One of them owns Stone Church Mobile Home Park now, or runs it. So I don't know what their sewage situation is over there. But you can see a bunch from there. You can see a bunch of them at the end of Hidden Hollow to the left, on private lateral.
Yeah.
And you can see them in everybody's backyard that has a septic, calling it a granny flat.
Renting to Willpad
And you have the
workers.
same situation you have on 88 with those 2 houses that can't sell because they share everywhere throughout this community they're having trouble selling different. There's one on Patterson Road, had to demolish both, but a lot of granny flats around here. That may be the ordinance you might want to look at, is stopping that.
I've sent you the information. Maybe we should consider making an amendment to the current township zoning laws regarding tiny homes. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. And
Granny flats.
Granny flats.
But granny flat, when you say granny flat,
Sharing a septic for 2 residents.
that's only for a grandparent.
Or an elderly parent, but you got one on Patterson.
But what's to say
You got
it's
2
this-
houses on 88 that can't sell right now because
What's
it
to
was
say it's gonna stay
initially
like
a
that?
granny flat and then they died. You got one on Phillyville Alrima Road on the corner of Gilmore and Phillyville Alrima Road. You got them everywhere. You may want to consider stopping that stuff, because then it becomes a violation, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when they're built already? You got
Well,
someone can't sell houses on 88.
Yeah.
You have,
I I know another place I drafted once, one time about granny flats, the question is, once that person passes away or whatever,
That doesn't seem to happen here though. Like I said, I can name you 4 off the top of my head. I can, 1 Patterson Road, 123 Patterson Road. You got that one that just burned down on Houston Run Road, granny flat. You got, those Nike site houses, you got a house on 88 right now that Peters Creek Sanitary is stopping, they share a septic, they share a water line. I know it was all done before, but like, that some shouldn't happen anymore. Maybe this was a rural community back then.
Take my barn and make it into one.
How about we start housing people in greenhouses over there? I mean,
what does the PCSA rules and regulations say about granny flats in terms of the situation?
do they allow them anymore? I mean, that one was
Peters
allowed,
Creek?
yeah, do they still
I would
allow it?
think.
I thought it was
Well, you
always.
kinda do,
They
because
ask
you have
for it.
self-perk mobile estates on a common, you know, you have those Nike site houses, you have that house on 88, but that Washington County, just one in on a common septic. It could be a
It was owned
problem
by,
later on.
it was owned by 2 people.
Was it?
Not initially, it was a,
Initially, it was a granny flat,
mhm.
but then the one went up for what's sale by the county or whatever. The guy bought it down in Florida, and now they got one system, and he's arguing, he owns it, the other guy has to get a separate lateral, and we just said, don't do anything, don't approve anything until this all gets
It
worked
leaves the
out.
person
Well,
not
that's
being
right.
able to sell later on either.
I mean, well, we always do subdivisions, that's always the thing, is, sewage for each separate piece of
Somebody put
property.
in a she shed on the top of Traxel, a she shed, like a little thing, a little office, but it's an Airbnb. To the neighbor's dismay. Once it was out, it's sharing a septic. What they got was a permit from Washington County Storage Council. They told them they were adding an addition to their house, and Washington County Storage Council says you don't need anything special. So they put a tiny house in the middle of their yard. They rent it out to people. But they,
Want to rent it.
Money.
transient labor,
Yeah,
dot
that too.
vacationers, somebody that's working in a
Party night,
particular tight field.
party weekend.
No, a particular tight field for a couple of weeks. Maybe they're in and out on a gas well or something like that. You need we don't have housing.
Or farm field.
Mhm.
Well, I've had sheds, which people say are sheds, but then you look at the shed, they have air conditioning units.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's nothing
And then
wrong, I mean,
You have
people
on,
living in these
well,
sheds.
living in it's a whole nother thing. Having air conditioning in it because you're using it as a workshop or something, or it's one thing.
This shed had air conditioning units that was being used for people to live.
That's a whole nother.
I had that litigation recently.
now you have someone that is interested in tiny houses on a private storage lateral off of Hidden Hollow.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have a copy of PCSA rules and regulations?
Yeah,
Can you send me a copy of that?
I'll hand it to you. There was stacks of them in there because of the litigation with PCSA. We got lots of copies of that because we were suing them.
I just went like, I look at it this way, like, that trailer park on Stone Church. That's pretty
Is that a
wide, but
private-
there's,
Where's this storage come in? Is that a septic? Is that a treatment?
I don't
Is
know.
that, what is that?
I don't know.
But you could have a whole bunch of little tiny houses right there.
Yeah,
Little transient community.
but there's been some goings on in that.
There's a yurt.
Yeah, there's already a
trailer park.
yurt
Yeah.
It's already a yurt.
There's already a yurt down there.
The yurt, yeah, well,
And some of the trailers, a tiny house was better than a trailer.
It's not a
Yes, but-
direction of improvement.
no, it's not.
It's not where we
I-
want to
yeah, it's
go.
not.
Because what they're gonna put is a
Yeah.
Timberland shed or one of those Amish sheds there. You know, it's not
And
gonna
then
be
just
a,
move in. I mean,
Pretty much.
it's my
they
tiny
do at
house.
campgrounds.
So that's what we don't like, because I don't think anybody would want that in their area. It would take it down, and you're gonna, what kind of people, okay, so maybe they put them in for transient workers. Then after the transient workers
What's this-
leave, then who's gonna move into these?
What's to say that I don't run a water line from my house in my backyard and my daughter moves in there?
Well, I'll tell you what's gonna happen, just, I hate to say, growing up.
Call it a she shed, but you know,
Growing up in
my
coal
daughter
mine
lives
patch,
there.
and you see like this amazing development, 50 years from now, that will be leather patch.
Yep.
And basically because you have no, it'll be, from my perspective, you'll have that patch mentality. You know what patch mentality is? People fight with each
A
other.
village.
They definitely, you're around each other's backs. And you fight with, people fight because you're doing this, you're doing that.
They'll fight over an inch like a bocce court, cause it's so, they'll fight over.
Noise,
Noise maintaining the wall, shared.
a dog barking.
I lived in half a house growing up, so I know what that's like too. So, alright, I'll get something prepared for tiny house. The last thing you guys